Welcome. Let's have some chill time together, shall we? Okay, chill time is over. I'm gonna build some speaker cables now, and they're not normal, and you're gonna be like, oh good, Zeos, didn't you do a speaker wire tutorial like 4 years ago? Yes, I did. And in the description of this video will be a much worse video, quality-wise, but it'll actually teach you how to make speaker cables. This is a project that I'm taking upon myself to overcomplicate because show off. See, she's showing off. I complain a lot about expensive cables because expensive cables are expensive, but if you're gonna DIY a cable, you can go as grand as you fucking want. It's jewelry. I've purchased the Heresy 4s. Let's take a walk before we get into that. They're not here currently. Currently, Echo All Lights 100. Currently, I have the triangles here. It's the same basic setup, though. But I see the Heresies, if you watch my review of the Heresies, I have to buy wire them or buy amplify them. Currently, they're sitting here on a nice little Sonos. Yes, Christmas tree, ignore it. And they have these terminals that come basically straight out. And when I take the bridges out, I need to put 2 pairs of speaker wire to each speaker. And they're going approximately 3 feet or less than 3 feet. So when those Heresies are going to be put back in my living room when I'm done with these, here is where those wire terminals will be, and here's the amplifier. Now I could just get regular speaker wires, run them one and then the other. I am going to be, like I said in the video, ignore that fat page. In the video, I'm going to be using these as stereo amplifiers, using one side for the bass and one side for the treble, and letting the internal crossovers do that, and then setting the rest of the subwoofers, and everything's gonna be happy. However, since these crowns are a professional grade amplifier, I don't have to use banana plugs in the back like I currently am. I can use, let me reassemble one real quick. I'm better than this. I'm better than this. I'm not better than this, apparently. Oh, why is this such a pain in the dick? Am I going in the wrong way? No, this is the right way. Anyway, let's try another one of these. This is... Oh, maybe I have to push down the lock. Maybe I am just that bad. Anyway. Wow, this is really... I've ruined my all my steam is gone. Wow, it's... Alright, forget it. Forget it. I'm not building them now. I'm just done. No, I'm not done. Okay, well, anyway, if I was capable as a human male of assembling this sort of connector... Wow, I'm really screwed, aren't I? Yeah, that's the way that goes. These are speak-on connectors. These are 4-conductor. They make 2-conductor, but there's no point in getting 2-conductor if you can get the 4-conductor for cheaper. Like that. Ha! Ha ha! Anyway, that goes there. This goes here. And this screws on the back. Does it look... more familiar now? Does it look more familiar now? Anyway, these will plug right into the back of my amplifier and lock in place, and it's just a fancy way of hooking up a speaker wire. When you're in a professional application, if you're doing a concert, you can't use banana plugs because Jim Bob will fucking run back there trying to bring a beer to the drummer, and he'll just yank out a wall of speaker wires, and all of a sudden there's no sound. So this is a more secure way of doing speaker wires. The speakers themselves do not have this option. Some professional speakers have it on both ends, obviously. The speaker gets one, and the thing gets one, and then you're done. What I'm going to build with this cacophony of shit is I'm going to build a bundle speaker. Not building like 2 runs for the left and 2 runs for the right. That would be too easy. I'm going to build a quad on the left and a quad on the right And then they're each going to have 4 bananas. And I'm going to be using these mica cables as my actual cables. But I'm not going to use the connectors on them because that would come out. And I bought these right angles, which will go... How much cat hair is in there? These will go down. And since I'm going to not just be using one terminal, I'm going to split them like this. And I'm going to be using 2 per thing because these are 14 gauge. These are 14 gauge, which is actually good. Because 16 gauge is like the normal, and 12 gauge is a little bit too heavy for most speakers, but screw it. Remember, we're building jewelry for our expensive things. It's just gonna look good. So I'm gonna take these wires, which come together, and I'm gonna split them all the way down the middle. And these are the 12-foot lengths, by the way. And I have these, Micah sent me a bunch of them. They're not that expensive, or if you just went on to Amazon to buy them, links in the description. But I literally have like 6 packages of these here. And I'm just going to take them and I'm just going to split them apart nice and gentle like that. They come apart nice and easy. And once I have individualized runs of every single one of these, now these are 12-foot, I'm trying to end up with 3-foot cables. And I'm trying to do double conductor per thing, which means I'm going to need 4 of these individual lengths are going to run through the back of the actual speaker of these terminals. There'll be 4 of these, and then 2 each into each one of the banana plug, which are, these are literally just sleeves you pull off. There's screws here and here. You shove the wire in, you tighten it down. You don't have to solder. There should be no soldering. Should be no soldering. There might be, because God knows, if you just want to keep the thing from fraying, it never hurts to throw a little solder on, although that will screw up any crimp down terminal because it can't, dig into the wire. Also, I'm not sure why, but apparently when you get these and you look, you can see that there's 4 individual screw down terminals. These are where you put your wires in, you loosen this up, you put the wire in, you screw it back down, it grips it. Apparently either one of these is missing. That one's not missing it. That one's not missing it. This one, which is completely stuck in here, okay, good, is not missing it. And where's the 4th one? Am I losing my fucking... There's the 4th one. Okay, it's in here. This one, I don't believe was missing it when I just plugged it in. So, it came with 4 extra random screws, which are the screws that are these screws. So, okay. Keep that in mind if you buy the same package I did, which I will link, a 4-pack. Also, if you're building speakers and you want to be badass, you can just put one of these, you can put the other half of this sort of terminal in there. When I built my Dayton 15, what the hell is the name of the Dayton subwoofer I built? I can't remember the name of it. Dayton Dynamo? No, that's not it. That's stupid. Ultimax. When I built my Ultimax, instead of putting on a big panel with with either 2 speaker terminals or 4 speaker terminals, this is this will handle 4 speaker wire connections. This one will, this little hole. So the actual thing you mount is about that big. It's so much cleaner. You do have to pretty much make all the wiring yourself, but as hopefully this video will show you, I doubt it. It'll be a whole lot easier than you think. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna pause this video because I'm not gonna go 100%. You don't need to see every fucking step of this, especially not me like spreading apart. Oh, did I run over this with my chair again? I quit again. Okay, I unquit again. God, I love working to music, and it's real hard if I'm making a video. I mean, I guess I put IMs in. I forgot one very important thing. If you're gonna do this sort of work, get your tools, prep your surface. Now, this is where I do my reviews. This is my Aukey mouse pad. Flip this fucker over. Because you know what? When you get little pieces of copper, or if I do have to solder and you do anything with soldering, it's just gonna mess it up. It's just gonna mess it up. Just there you go. Look, it slides around now, but I don't care because this is a better surface to fuck up, is the side you're not gonna see. So I've grabbed 3 tools. Something that can cut wires very good. This is my Nipex. I spent like $32 on this, but it's German and I can feel it. Just look at the little rust. Oh, it's so beautiful. I got a Craftsman Professional stripper, which I think will do the right job, and my absolute favorite Craftsman precision screwdriver. And what I'm gonna do now is something called commitment. Look it up, ladies. These are perfectly good bananas and would work absolutely fine. It wouldn't affect the sound at all. But oh Jesus, Zio's just cutting them off. I wanted you to witness this. I just needed you to be there, especially for that sound. I'll be quiet. The sound of commitment. But wait, Zios, can't you leave the little bit of length? Because I don't care. Not doing it. I love how they shoot off into the keyboard. That's my favorite part. This is it. This is you just committed to cutting up a bunch of cables. And I was going to use a different cable for this. I actually own. I went to Lowe's and I was going to build the most ridiculous. I was going to do this for charity. I was going to sell a pair of speaker wires that would compete with the speaker wires you see at like RMAF, like those stupid ones. I bought 10-4, which is 4 conductor, 10 gauge. It's like that much around. It's all in one big bundle. It was 25 feet for like $60. I was going to cut it in half and make 2 of the heaviest 12 gauge, just 2 speaker wires. I was going to take the 2 10s and twist the 10s together and expose a lot, like a foot of it. But I couldn't figure out how to make the terminal blocks end. Like, how do you actually terminate 2 10 gauge? I think it's equivalent to like 6 gauge when you do that. It was going to be insane. But I never did that because building speaker wires was on my menu. I actually used to build and sell speaker wires when I was coming up, Z-wires. I don't know, at least 1 or 2 people bought a set. And I undercharged the fuck out of it. It was like $120 a set. But it took 2 hours to make each set. You know what? Yeah, okay, it's $60 an hour. Zio, shouldn't you be happy? No, my fingers were like bleeding. These are soft, delicate fingers. You need to be able to feel pads and know the consistency of if it's fake velour or real velour, which is velour. Anyway, I just cut these in half. Now, I said I want to go about 3 feet, and that seems to be like with my brain and my measuring. Oh, steak. Because of what I'm doing, if we look at this amp, which is probably easier to look at, here's where those terminals are, and that's very close to where the speaker is going to be. This could be like a 2-foot length. However, this amplifier, because it's not upside down, because I haven't committed to the whole mirroring thing, those are on that side, so they're a little bit further away. So I think from here to here, that's like a 30-inch length. So 36 should cover it. Maybe I'll go 40. I kind of want to just go straight over. I don't want it to go hanging down on the floor. I could make them, you could make them as long as you want. Don't make them too fucking short. If you're making custom cables, that's my only advice. You can make them 1,000,000 miles long. Now, here's what's going to happen. I'm going to braid these. I talked to Skedra, who does Viking weave cables. He's the guy who's responsible for this. Pull this off. This is like where I keep my prized possessions. He's the guy responsible for this HD 600 cable. He was a jeweler that joined my Patreonage chat, and I looked at some of his work, his necklaces and things, and was like, make a headphone cable. And he's like, what? Yes. And that was just me yelling. I was just yelling. So he did this, and this is a metal actual, like, for a necklace weave of silver and copper. It's not actual silver, but inside of it is just a normal headphone cable. And it terminates here, and it goes down to these, and he made it. This was his first one. It took him 70 hours. He did it, he just like, here you go, thanks. So he's now got a business selling headphone cables. Like, just this block was like 20 hours of machining to machine it into a triangle, and then to break drill bits trying to drill through it to make the split. Man's insane. But he's also he's the one who sent me a video personally to show me how to do an 8 weave, because that's what I need. I need an 8 weave. Because I could do 4 wires per side and it would be fine. 14 gauge for the ground, 14 gauge for the hot, 14 gauge for the ground, 14 gauge for the hot. But that's boring. If I'm going to go through the trouble of making a video for you guys, and then go through the trouble of buying a bunch of custom connectors and things, I'm going to make it as impossible as I possibly can. So I need to learn how to braid. I also, well, here's the thing, when you take a wire and it's dead straight, it's a meter long. But if you start twisting it up and down and up and down and up and down and up and down, he says you can lose anywhere from 15 to 20% of your length. So if you want a 1 meter long cable, you need a 1.2 meter long cable to start with, and then you go, and it shortens up. So I went 36 inches. I'm going to start with 42 inches. These were 12-foot speaker cables. That means folded in half, which is what this is. If I were to cut right here, and how many is this? This is our 8, right? 1, 2, 3. But yeah, this is our 8. This is what's going to go to one speaker, is 8 conductors. But this is not braided, so it's actually going to get thicker than that. Remember, this is all for looks. It's not going to make these speakers sound any better. I don't have a matching set of speaker cables. And I looked. Here's the thing, I fucking looked. And the shortest the 3-foot speaker cables that are pre-made on Amazon, I will link them in the description. Zeos, I'm sorry you have to go find them again. But it took me forever to find 3-foot completely made terminated speaker cables. $25 each. Each cable, not a pair, each. That would have been $100. And I looked at it and I went, no. I'm a cheap motherfucker. Somehow. And I'm gonna build my own. So I've spent probably at some total of, these are like $16 for the 4 of these. $12 or $16 for the big ones. And the little ones are like $8. It was a pack of 8. Boom, done. So, and these I get for free, but we'll count these as if I purchased them, and I'm gonna need, see, here's the thing. At 6 feet long, if I fold this in half, that's 3 feet. But then there's so much room for error. So I can't just use a single set. I'm gonna have to butcher a whole other set of cables. Which, thinking about back to it now, means I probably shouldn't have had to cut the ends off of everything. I could have left like little, instead of making these like little 1-inch sons of bitches, I could have made them like this long, and then I could always have terminated them and had more speed. That doesn't fucking matter. There's no progress without waste. Efficiency is what you do after you've made progress. That's a rule, all right? We need to be inefficient as hell a lot of our lives. So what I'm gonna do now, I said 42 inches, right? So I need all 8 of them for just one side. So I'm gonna get them lined up, and then I'll cut them again, and then at least we'll have the ability to do one side, and then I'm gonna go in my closet and get another one and do the exact same thing. Okay, because I took off my stupid hat, put on my smart hat, I can now not waste at least all of this. And I'm also gonna go 48-inch cuts, because A, it's better safe than sorry. If I screw up, I could screw up a little bit more and still get the right thing. So this table is 48 inches, so I'm just doing that. Getting a rough estimate where my fingertips are. I'm cutting one here, I'm cutting one here. Again, we'll get back to it. So now what I'm left with is these, actually I've got another, I could have done this at so little. You see, I screw up so that you guys don't have to. Because these are 12-foot lengths. I needed 4 feet. 4 feet, it goes into 12 3 times. This would have been another half of one of the things. But now look, I could just re-terminate these and I'll have a nice short set of mica speaker cables, because I can do that. So now I've got, and I haven't split these apart yet. Well, I've only cut this set. This is the set that's actually cut to length. I just did this one. So we've got 4 of these. So there's our 8 cables. This is gonna be one side. I'm gonna drop them on the floor. And now we get to cut these, which is just, so now I've, oh, there's so much. There's gonna be so much waste. I guess I could always deal with wire. Now, if you wanna be super lazy, you could just put them all together in your hands. Again, we're not being super fucking critical at this moment. We're gonna lose some, well, I guarantee we're gonna screw up one and it's gonna be cut. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If you had one of those old tables you used to have in schools where they cut all the paper, that would be now would be a great time to whip that out. So what do we got, like 48, 49 inches there? We're gonna do basically what we're gonna do is we're gonna end up doing the weave or doing the braid and then trimming anyway. So we're gonna have to trim off 2 inches or so of this anyway. So let's just go there. And I probably should be using a cutter that doesn't make me put the wire through 2.5 inches of not cutter. But this is my best cutting blade, which is sad. It's sad as hell. So now this is just, oh my God, I know exactly what this is for. I hope they open the borders soon. So now I've made a mess, but that's okay. Actually, where are those? Where are the ones I just threw on the ground? The ones that I don't need. Here's what I'm gonna do. I've got the ones I haven't taken apart, the ones that I've turned into literally spaghetti. A spaghetti! There's spaghetti, and there's less spaghetti because those are still together. But we're gonna take the extras, which Zeos was stupid enough to make stupid extras. You could have had less wire depth. Fuck. I'm gonna take one length of this spaghetti. We're gonna strip it, and we're gonna see if it fits into things, because there's no point in doing any of this if none of it fits. Because as much as Zeos is like, oh, he's gonna do it, this actually has a really nice wire stripper too, but it isn't labeled the gauge. This one, that says 12, 14, 10 gauge. So I'm gonna try to strip it with the 12 gauge. Always go a size up. Actually, I'm gonna go even higher than that, because this is a very thick insulation. These micas have very thick, very soft insulation. As you can see, oh, look how many fucking strands it is. I love these mica cables. That is some pure ass copper for you. So okay, so that's one. Now I'm gonna strip the other side, and this is the same exact little length of extra. I'm gonna crop this. And that's how I usually do it. And as big as you can go, because you see we started tearing. There's an inside plastic and then this outside. So at some point, it may not pull off cleanly, and maybe left with another one. But I wanted to leave all the copper. Losing copper is like the worst thing. It gives me nightmares. And I should have stripped more than this, because it's gonna be important. But if I twist these together, that's what our end result. This is how much gauge I'm looking for, and I'm gonna strip these a little more because I was cheap. Being so cheap, Zeos. Have we lost any copper yet? There's a little, might be one in there. Now that I've twisted it, once you start doing things to it, and then you start stripping more and more off of it, you start losing strands, like that, like I just did. This is why you do this on a test piece, by the way. Look at that mess. Oh God, that would hurt my soul. Strip a test piece of the wire. So now we've got nice long ones, and we can just give that a little twist. Keep your hands clean, you don't want to get this too dirty. So now what the goal of this test piece is we're gonna test one of these, which they will work with a Phillips driver head, but I'm gonna use this anyway. You can pull this completely out if you want. Just don't lose the screw, because we just did that. There's also this, which is the actual press plate. So we shouldn't pull it out all the way, because I'm not going to plan to do that. That is how that puts together. Oh man, this is what a... I like doing the screwdriver because you can grab it up all the way by the front. Okay, so this doesn't fall out. Now let's take this piece that is way too much strip. Obviously this wouldn't be how you do it in the end, but this does it fit? Yes, it does. So we have, at least it fits there. And you can see how little of it goes in there. If we put our thumb there, that's roughly a centimeter. 3/8 of an inch. I'm trying to be nice to everyone across the pond too. Yeah, so that's all we need to strip. And now there's plenty of shielding between the terminals, so even if it sticks out a little bit longer than that, you get a good idea of how much you can do it. I only need to use 2 of these, and I don't know which ones yet. Isn't that fun? They're not even numbered. Usually these things are numbered. So what I'm gonna end up doing is hooking up one of these with 4 wires, going to my literal amplifier, setting it to stereo, and then telling it, all right, play. And then I can just connect the different terminals to the speaker until I find one that's playing not out of phase. Or I can just look it up. I'm sure this is a pretty standard thing. You can see the 4 connectors in there. So that fits there. So then let's check the other side, which is a much cheaper random thing with, these only have flathead drives. And this is what I used to build with. Not the right angles of these, but similarly designed. And these just unscrew, and when you put the wire in there, you screw down and it squishes the shit out of it. I forget how much I hate doing this, but once you get it out, you can just hand do it. These are huge. I could fit 3 of these wires in there. Look at this. They're huge and they're deep. Like that, what amount I stripped is the amount I'm going to need to strip to make this cable. So I need to strip a full length for this end, and then I'm gonna try to use this. I don't know if I can actually, let's see, give you another 2 of these, because I would obviously put these boots on before I stripped, but I don't know if they're gonna, there's no way. That literally fills up the entire thing. So having two of these is, you know, you got like this side. Actually, this side slides on. No, it doesn't make sense to try to even use this. So what I'll do is I'll build my own out of a heat shrink. I have tons of heat shrink. Don't have much clear heat shrink, but I have heat shrink. So let me screw this back in so we don't lose those, because they will just fly out and you'll never see them again. The vacuum will go for 2 seconds in the future. Put that cover back on it to hold them in place. Clean up this mess. We've so far haven't made that big a mess. There's a couple loose pieces of copper I see. It's probably best to have a garbage pail like literally there. Note how I don't have it there. That's why you're watching this video. This was a standard stag piece that goes there. We throw this away. Bring my garbage pail with my cheese stick husks and packaging from an orange. So now, Jesus, now is the... All right, I'll get back to you. It's been like 2 days, 3 days? I don't know, fucking days. I literally ripped apart the wires and then I was like, nah. So here is a heat gun. And here is the video I was sent on how to do the shitty part. And he's speaking in it and explaining how to do it, but I've listened to it 100 times. And he's got, this is Skedra from Viking Weave. He's got 4 blue and 4 gray. And he shows me how to, he puts them on a clamp, he clamps them down. Looks like every other one. I'm assuming, actually I don't even know what's in there, but I'm assuming every other one. And then the main goal is you take the outside on the left and bring it under and into the middle of the pack on the right. So now he's got gray, gray, and then you bring it back over and make the first one, the last one, the blue first one is now the blue last one through the middle of those 4, which is great. Then you take the outside one, the last of that, bring it into the middle of this. So you got 2, 2, and 2, and you bring that back over. And that's, I can understand that. And then he starts going fast. And it's the same method. It's the outside to 2, it's the outside to 2, it's the outside to 2. He just keeps going and he says, you can pull it tight, it'll be too stiff. So I'm not gonna pull it too tight. The problem is I've never done this, I've never even practiced, and we're about to do that live on camera. And I'm just gonna leave that looping for a little bit because I need, here's the thing, he's also got 2 different colors, which makes it a little bit easier to understand what's going on. I don't. So we're gonna put this fucker on hard mode. This is hard mode now. Welcome to Zio's hard mode. I've got, when you're done, or when you start or when you're done, you have to get some heat shrink. I have clear heat shrink. The biggest heat shrink I have, which is this, which is about as wide as my thumb, will only fit 4 of these conductors. So I can't fit the full 8. So that's, what I need to do is, I need to get the ends. I don't even know where ends are. Gotta make sure they're all ends. I'm not gonna be super anal about it, like which way the letter's going. It doesn't matter. Wire doesn't care which direction things go. No matter how many people try to upsell you on that shit. So I need to get I could try to get them lined up on the table where the red is on top, on one side, just for like the beginning. Oh, never mind, red is only, actually, there is a red side and a not red side. I could do something like that. Trying to keep a semblance of my sanity. So at least I could check where I messed up. You know, let's do that, all right. So, and also, I need to make sure I keep the ends, because I'm gonna weave down this, the middle of this. But the ends have to be 2 for the bananas, and then groups of 4 for the speak-ons. So I got to figure out how much of this I'm going to leave unweaved. How much leave unweave? By the way, over your neck is a great place to store things. Here's one with a red stripe. See, now I hope I didn't mix them up on the floor. Unless I go with all 8 red stripes for the right-hand side speaker wire, and all, no, that's dumb. So there's 4 of those, and these are all without stripe colors. And I can't tell if I have the same ends. I don't. All right, I got a clamp and a piece of wood. And like, you're just gonna keep doing that. You're just gonna keep, like these swans. These are swans. Oh God, this is Why did I start this? I could have just bought $100. Doesn't seem like too much in those cables I missed out on. What's up, pussycat? Whoa, whoa, whoa. He's also using very short lengths, so getting like through is easy for him. And I'm not gonna be. And I'm just gonna get him raw. Again, we need like 36 inches, and these are 48 inches, and we're gonna have some loss. So I'm not gonna make too much of a big deal. I also don't want to have to weave backwards because I wouldn't even know what to do. I'd rather have it all the way weaved and undo some. Get over here. Oh, God. At least this is soft wire. I gotta say one thing about this mica cable. It's always soft. For any future generations, notice I put Sherpa top sheets on my bed today. Because you want to know what the time scale is in the Zeos universe. Again, we don't have to be super accurate with the lengths because we should have a couple inches where we're messing with it. And now we're just going to clamp this. There we go. I'm gonna move this chair. Here's all of my stuff for making wires when I used to make speaker wires. I have like literally cases and cases of banana plugs. So I definitely should have bought more banana plugs that are right angles specifically so that they flow. All right. This is actually going to be a little bit more organized than I thought. They are hitting the floor, and they're right next to like my chair. So if I roll into one, it's going to just be a nightmare. I'm just going to pretend that I've been doing this for years. Okay. Far outside, through the split, through the two, and then back around for this. So now it's back to this side. So now, but then we have to keep it like here, like that. That's where it's got to stay. And then we got to go far outside through two and then back around. And that's it. That's where we got to keep it. That's where it's got to stay. But we're starting to get like, oh man, it's going to get easier as we go. I feel like it's going to get easier as we go. She said, don't make it tight or it'll be too stiff. So we still have 4 and 4. Now we're going to go out, in, over, and then out, in, over. And I'm trying not to screw up. I don't know if I'm doing it. I think I'm doing it right. It feels like I'm doing something correct, which is kind of scary. And I have, look how much, like it didn't start till like here. So we're going to have a lot of extra there unless I redo this and back it up. Don't make me do that. Don't make me do that. Fine, it's fine. It's fine. Where was the last one? This one? Because, no, wait, we're back. This one came through and we're back. This one's over the top. Wow, I can't get distracted. I started talking. Wow. The one over the top has to be the last one I did. So it has to be this one. So now we got to go under to the middle, back over. Okay, there we go. So that's great. So now under to the middle and back over. I do have to like short up a little bit. I don't know if I'm going to do this whole thing on camera. I might just cut it out. Okay, so now hold 3, go under, split, spread them, bring it back over. These are all still red. That's good. Give this a little bit of a freeing jingle. So now we got to go red. We're trying to keep everything organized. This is actually a pretty normal like weave. I don't hate this. So red's over, brown's over. I literally let that video run, no shit, 3 hours. I was just doing things in the room and just let that video run because I'm like, I have to absorb this. So brown, now this goes under. And then, oh Jesus, I let go of that one. Bad. See, this did bad. So we're starting to see the pattern emerge. That's pretty nice, actually. Okay, red's over, so now drop a brown, lift a brown, bust a brown, and over. Now we drop a red, split the brown. Thank God I have two colors. This would be impossible. My brain would have melted. So this is actually a good thing. I would recommend you do like he does and have full different color wires. But plus it's got to be actually a lot easier doing it with massive wires like I'm currently doing. Like no one makes, this is not a headphone cable. Like he makes headphone cables and this is not one of those. This is very much thicker. This would be like perfect for practicing before you made a headphone cable with like something giant, because I would just freak out. I'm freaking out already. My spine hurts. Why is my spinal bifida is taking a hold? The hardest part is keeping the other wires in line while you do this. So like you got to drop that, but you got to hold those three flat, not lose them, spread that. Maybe I'm just good with my hands. Okay, red is done. Now we hold those flat, split. Oh, whoa. Yeah, over this one too. That one got away. Okay, we're on the move. And when I'm done with this, I'll put the camera back on. Let me tell you about frustration, all right? Because look at this beautiful fucking, it was perfect. I had this thing, I was singing to it, it was going, and then I opened the window because it's fucking frustrating when you lose your space. You have no idea what the fuck these are doing, and they're playing Sinatra across the street, and I can't open my window because it'll get a content ID match. So I gotta talk quickly, really loudly, and then shut this off, and I don't know how to fix where I am. Like I don't. It's just like impossible. Once the two get crossed, or you lose where that perfect linear flatness was, you're just fucking done. Also, I fucked up because I never did it. I knew 2 days ago to do it, to take my white marker and mark 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Because guess what? I'm gonna have to get my multimeter out and test every one of these to see where's what and when. Otherwise, I would just be able to look. Oh, 1 line, 2 lines, 4 lines. Oh, Jesus. You want to try to help me? Look, the reds all have to be on the right again. You have to spin them, too, to know what's red and what's not. That's a red. Nothing feels right in the hand anymore. Like, I backed it up a couple... this was like 3 more inches done, and I don't know what part of it was that. Like, is that correct? Am I going from here? I feel like this is... it always felt pretty natural and easy. Jesus, I fucked up so bad. Like, this is a brown over, but I feel like I want this one to go over next, and it's not that one. If I just continue, I know what's going to happen. It's going to be perfect, fucked up, and then perfect again. It's going to be fucked up right in that one chunk area in the middle. I'm going to know it. I'm going to fucking know it. I don't want to back this all up. This is a lot of progress. This is like 15 solid minutes of, and look how nice it flexes and, it's beautiful. I want it to be perfect, and this is, buy the wires. Don't do what I'm doing, but buy your own, fuck. Well, I fucking noped it and undid the whole thing, because I went back so far that there's only like 6 inches of braid left. So we're gonna redo it. We're gonna redo it. And I realized I only have to mark 1 through 4, not 1 through 8, because we have red sides and brown sides. So we're gonna take each individual fucking strand. Kids were screaming across the street, and I usually like kids, but these kids are just like, meh, fucking, I'm gonna play, shut the fuck up. 1. So that's red 1. So we gotta remember which we have, reds or browns. What are you? Red 2. I'll try to link to these pens, although I got them on Amazon and they're from Japan. So I don't know if that's going to even be 2. These might have to dry for a second before I start handling them. Let's get all the reds out of the way. You understand the process, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, and then brown 1, 2. Yeah, okay, you get it. I did it again. All right, I got it. I got it. I think this is enough braid. I want to leave at least this much for error and shortening, and this, I did this shorter and then I went around this way, which put the red side on the left to start with, and it blew my fucking mind about 8 inches down when I realized red wasn't in the right. Oh, I got it. It feels very unnatural because you go like right, then you do a thing and you're back to right, and you got to go right again. It's like, that doesn't seem anything. You should go left. It makes sense. It's just a pain in the dick. So what I'm going to do now is go, fuck, I don't have any scissors. I need some of this. I'm going to just heat shrink these, boom, right in place. These 4 are brown now, and they're labeled 1, 2, 3, 4. And actually, it kept the order of 1, 2, 3. I put them in order here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I could, since I dropped those on the table, I could get them back in a line to continue that if I needed to, because they're labeled. They would just have to be, let's see, what do we got? There's 1, here's 2, here's 4. So I'd have to just get them. This should be it. They basically come off. See this beautiful, like you could definitely see the pattern of boom, 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 boom. They stay like that until you do the next weave. So that's great. That's perfect. And then they're gonna come off, and once they're into, this will be for the, those will be for the banana plugs, because I have to do one and then I gotta cut one shorter so that it's specifically for one type of speaker anyway. Or actually it'll be for any speaker I want to buy wire. But those will be longer and those will have just twists. So let me go get fucking, do we have a knife? No, I need scissors, hold on. Now I'm gonna make very small, just like holds. And I need 4 of them. Actually, I need 8 of them. I'm assuming, because this is still only 1 wire, I got to do all this again. And I can cut these off. These are just to hold everything in place while I'm doing everything. So I'm just sort of like eyeballing it. I'll probably not redo these, because that's me. 1. How many do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Need 2 more. Come on, 7. Don't cut your finger off. What those wires cost you? You feel like this finger. So let's just give these. Oh, you're gonna be a prick. Everything's a prick. Everything's a prick. Okay. Because this is on a curve, it doesn't let me get in there. I need to get in. Oh, it's like stuck together. It's like static electricity. These are not glued, by the way. There are heat shrinks that have glue on the inside that melts when you heat it up. I have some of those there. You do not want to use those in this instance. You do not need to be gluing anything in place. I am just trying to get these to hold. And wow, even the largest heat shrink I have is, it's just like, nope, line these up perfectly or we're not going to be able to fit over it. So that's fun. That's going to make weaves. I'm glad I went short then, because it's going to have to be dead straight for a little bit. Try not to lose anything here. Come on. I mean, that's enough just to keep it from flopping around. Let's do it again, and then we'll do the sides on under the clamp. Although I could probably see, I need to do the other one first. I need to have 2. I don't want to do 1 complete. That sucks. If you've ever done a project where you need to do 2 of something, do not do 1/2 of it from 0 to 100, because then you're going to look back at 0 to 100, you're going to be fucking depressed. I do my projects 10% on one side, 10% on the other side, then go back and do the 10% on this side again, then go back. This way they both finish roughly at the same time. My brain can't get around doing like multiple fucking entire runs. Like when I was building the Lego stuff, if you were watching my live stream, when I built the Legos, there was parts that, like, you turn the page and, by the way, build all that shit you just did for the last 25 steps again, but in the mirror. And I was just like, it was so depressing because I just did that. I looked for those pieces already. Why are you doing this to me, Lego? And so what I would end up doing is looking forward. If I could figure out that there was going to be a repeat, I would build 2 of whatever I was building at the same time. I'm smart enough to fucking build the mirror at the same time. Like, this is it. There's never... I'm just trying to get this as far up as possible because this might be permanent. So I got to get this into like a box configuration or else it won't slide. if I spread these apart. I really need is my like little pliers, and then I can try to pull the heat shrink without ripping the heat shrink. Just it's like pulling up some pantyhose. That's good. I want to shrink them both at the same time though, because they're real close, so they're probably going to shrink anyway. I don't recommend doing what I'm doing. Yeah, because you're going to stretch it like that. What's close enough? I have my electric heat gun attached to a circuit that I'm not sure if it's what it's on. Let's do low. You could just test it on your arm, but then it's gonna. This is not a hair dryer. This is a heat gun. This is 1500 fucking murder degrees. Takes paint off of cars and stuff. There we go. It's just shrink it enough that it holds the wires in place. I don't know how well these wires. Well, my leg is on fire. I'm just not even pointing at my leg, but my leg's on fire. Oh. That's you, isn't it? Well, apparently I'm running this off my UPS. That's fantastic. I don't have any other wire. Do you see any outlets? Do you see any outlets? They're all back there, and all this equipment's on it. I don't run heat guns. So low is fine. High is gonna give me a warning. That's fine, as long as it doesn't come undone. I have my two ends. So let's do the same thing now here. And this I have to be a little bit more careful because I don't want it to, as I say that, I'm actually gonna take out one side and then clamp this back down on the table, and then we'll get our heat shrink on. Oh my God, this would never come apart if I was just trying to do this by hand. This is actually the perfect size heat shrink for 4 of these. Like I wouldn't go any larger. It's just really, I don't think I'm gonna shrink this one just on its own, just one. Try not to melt my desk. My desk is made of plastic. I run this entire YouTube channel off a plastic folding table. There's too many people out there that try to start a YouTube channel, and all I hear from them is like, well, no, I gotta get the stuff right. It's gotta be right. I gotta get the lighting. It's gonna look stupid. I have a fucking plastic table. I've always had a plastic table. Just start the goddamn YouTube channel. It does not matter what the equipment, if they can't handle you at your plastic table, they don't deserve you at your, you know, mahogany fucking yacht or whatever the hell you end up with. Okay. Just start. The worst thing you could do is, no, I'm not ready. I'm not going to ask that girl until I get that job. Oh, I'm not going to do this or that until this lines up. You'll never do it. Just do it. Just fucking do it. Just fucking do it. Whatever it is. I don't even know what it is, but do it. It is a universal concept. Doing it is a universal... Fucking Nike ruined that statement. Nike fucking made that... It's one of those, just do it, is literally great. It's a great statement. But Nike took it, so now everyone thinks you're talking about shoes. When it's nice and hot from the last job like 12 seconds ago, it's so convenient. God, I love my heat gun. Up is off, which is weird because down is usually off on things. And I'm just resting on a plastic garbage. So that's... Look how nice and flexible that is. Oh, God. Oh, look at that. You can't even curl regular wires like that, but this is just... Oh, Jesus fuck. So now here's the problem. I'm going to do that again. I'm about to do this all again. I need to do it again and stop at the exact same length for the next one. Which, by the way, I did already mark them 1 through 4. But since this was a new wire and not one that I had been using, I'd been using that other 12-footer, so it was nice and straight. This was curled up, so look at like this. Like I'm gonna get to that. I'm gonna be weaving with that. So this is definitely going to be this is definitely going to be the more difficult side. Oh, and remember when I said it'll probably be easier as it gets shorter? Complete lie. Completely wrong. When it's long, it has weight and it pulls itself down and you could keep it organized and just do this and straighten itself. When it's short, it just wants to not be wherever you want to put it. So come to the end of this one, it's going to be a fucking nightmare. I could actually probably mark with I can measure this and get my white marker, just say, okay, this is where I have to start this, and then mark back here and say, okay, when I see the white lines show up 10 inches back, that's when I could stop the weave. Or I could just compare the weaves as I'm going. It's just real hard to stop. It's real hard to stop. If you are doing it, you have to do it. If you have to pee in the middle of it, you're screwed. Just piss your pants. It'll be so much better. And I'm going to preemptively do this. I'm going to put all 4 of these. I'm going to skewer all 4 of them, so when I do this thing later, it's easy. Honestly, once it gets going, it's pretty easy. Now, imagine doing that with wires that are the size of, like, IM cables. That's why Viking Weave can charge as much as he does. Because fuck that, I ain't doing it. If I was charging for these cables, this is $200. Oh, you want the weave? It's $200. That's what I would charge. So, the aggravation of fucking it up and having to go all the way back, which can happen now, again, especially with these weird wires. All right. Doing it again. All right, we have to lower that because why the fuck not? If I'm sitting here working, I might as well play off the Solaris in the 590s. Guess what? Boom! These look amazing. Oh, God, I love 8. This is why when you get like an IEM cable, you can get the 6 weave, you can get the 8 weave. You want the 8 weave. You want that. And it's so flexible. Look at this. Look, you could spool it up into like a fucking 3-inch circle. And it's not fucking with the wire. It's just, okay. So now, I've got them both roughly, oh God, this is sliding off. This heat shrink is sliding off. That's bad. Heat shrink's not, this clear stuff I got, it needs to be the adhesive stuff or it's gonna slide off. Or it didn't shrink enough? I don't know what's happening. They're not secure, but they're keeping them at bay. Now, here's the next problem. I'm probably only be working with 1 at a time, or maybe I'll work with 2 at a time, I don't know. I'm not gonna take off any length on purpose. Like from now on, I'm gonna try to just cut it to be even and length and go. So these are the shorter ones. And of course my numbers stayed, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So the next step's going to be assembling this monstrosity. And I didn't realize it, but each one comes with 2 different inserts, a white and a black. And if you have a larger cable, you can put the black one in. If you have a smaller cable, you can use the white one. Now, I'm going to have to use, I'm putting 4 of these in there, so the white ones are not going to fit it. So basically how these get assembled, and I tried to do this in the first part of the video, it was a nightmare. There's a thick notch here and a thin notch here, and if you look through this, there's several ways it looks like this wants to go through. And you've got to line it up, and then boom. And that's how it goes, because it goes in, it goes click. So that's exactly how it goes. I wish it would just describe that with something more visible. And then your wires are attached. This has to go over your wires first. Because your wires are, it goes over your wires, and you put this up, then you slide this in here. And then actually this has to go over your wires too. And then you just tighten this down, and as you tighten it down, it squeezes the wires and then it holds. So we need, see, this goes on from the front. This is the cover. All this other stuff needs to be on the wire. A lot of times these are split. They're not in this case. So, I mean, I'm not ready for it yet, but I'm just saying you're gonna need to do this first on here. Wow. These are so bulky. I love this look, by the way. This is amazing. Maybe I'll make like a full, maybe I'll get 4 12-foot lengths and just do like some 12-footers and make them look insane and then sell them for charity or profit. Either one of those things works. Then we need to put this over here. Don't forget this. Oh, and when I was doing it, I figured something out. I know this is hard to describe, but you basically, if you're bringing the outside one from the left over, just drop it. And then just ignore this hand. Because once you've dropped that, now all you're doing is dealing with the right side. And you're going to spread it apart, and you're going to get it, and you're going to put it back. Then you concentrate again. And then you're like, all right, drop the on the outside. Then you let go, just drop it. Once it's away from that, you don't have to worry about that side anymore. One side at a time was my, my big, wow, that's going to fit perfectly. Once this squeezes down a little bit, this is never, ever coming off. Oh, yeah. Actually, it's still got a little bit of, It'll be fine. It'll be fine. What I need to do now is probably research, because since this is a 4-pole and my receiver or my amplifiers are one side's a 2-pole and the other side's a 4-pole, which is fantastic. I need to look up the pin numbers, because this doesn't even, these are the cheaper connectors. These are not by Nutrix. This was, I forget which brand this was. Not that they were cheaper, but they were like, it was a 4-pack and it was, well, it was cheaper. But it was fine. They're all highly rated anyway. This just doesn't have any numbers on it. So it's not like, oh, numbers 1 and, wait, maybe there are numbers. Yep, there's -2. Wow, those are real hard to see. +2, -2, -1, +1. Okay, so at least I have numbers. So now what I got to do is look up my 2502's user manual and see exactly what pins I need to use if I'm using that in stereo, because I'm sure the manual will have it. In fact, watch me shut the camera off and I'll come back and I'll point at it and it'll be like, boom, there it is. Boom, wait, no, boom. So now I'm reading the manual. Apparently, you can, and I don't think I can do it right now. I just don't think it's physically possible with what I'm trying to do here. But you can take there's 2 speak-ons. There's 2 female versions of this. One is a 4-pole, one is a 2-pole. You can run 2 speakers off of a single speak-on. It'll run in stereo or in bridge mono. So if I could get all of these wires hooked to this, and that is never going to happen. But I could. But what it says is, it doesn't say it because it's written literally on the back of the unit. And I could go look at the back of my unit, but that's far away. So I'm going to zoom in a lot. And you're going to see it says pin +1+ is channel 2, pin +1- is channel 2. And then you go to this side, which is channel 1, and it says pin +1 is 1, 1 is 1. So basically, the only thing I have to concern myself with if I'm using both is pins +1 and -1. So there you go. We've solved that riddle. The riddle. So it means I could actually start making connections to all this shit. I have an idea. I don't know if I could pull it off easily without messing everything up, because I'm about to start stripping wires. And I got to do what I just did here, because I know it's going to happen. You're going to fuck this up. I fucked it up. How many times I've built things and they don't have the actual connector body? Like, it would just be this hanging off, because screw it. I'm not going through to redo all of this. Do this now. If it gets in your way, you could do it to the last minute, but just do it now. Do it. They actually stay down pretty far. So I'm going to have like a decent amount of space, and I don't know how I'm going to deal. Right now, I'm not worried about making it pretty. I just want to get it hooked up. Like, this is, even if it goes, let's see, how far could it go? I could cut these down also if I want to be like really baller and have it just like end, terminate, just boom. I don't feel like doing that. And also, you got to remember, I wrote the numbers on the very ends, and that was a stupid idea. Remember I told you to watch this whole video. Don't write it there. Write it back here somewhere. Because I'm about to trim these fucking straight. And guess what happens to my numbers? They're gone. So I'm going to have to do that one at a time, or one pair at a time. Now, like I said, 2 of these wires are combining to become 1 circuit. So this is left channel negative. This is going to be left channel positive. Actually, it's going to be left channel negative woofer. Right channel tweeter. I don't know. Shh. Don't make me explain it. It's not like I'm making a video here or anything. Oh my god, the music's playing again. I can't. I gotta close my window. Ta-da! Alright, so here's what I did. This one's actually a little bit off, but I mean, I'll work that back through the thing. I finished one side off video. I needed to brainstorm, make sure I was going to screw it up, figure out all the little bits of advice. This one's actually perfect. This one's a little bit off. So, this is the mess we've made. I need to keep some of this mess. A couple of these are the, I cut off some length because it was going to be too long. I don't need to keep them all. I'm going to keep them, well, I'm keeping them all because I'm going to clean this mess up this way. This is my vacuum. I'm going to vacuum it Headphone users, watch out. Is the Dyson worth it? Yes. This is the carved Dyson. It's back in my car twice. It lives here now. So this went on relatively painlessly. All I had to do was figure out how I wanted to, because I'm dealing with 4 wires, but there's only 2 places they're going. So I decided that 1 and 2 will be to negative, and 3 and 4 will be to positive, and that's it. That's the schematic. Done. Also, I figured out that the black ones actually do have a split. They're just real tight. Where is it? There it is. Look at that. Like, I wouldn't want to bend that around everything, so just do what I've been doing and put the caps on. Capsons. Put the caps in. I actually, now that I have this attached, I could cut off this heat shrink. It doesn't need to be there. Because it's never going to come apart, and all it's doing is being there. We could do the same on the other end. Actually, no, the other end's going to need something, because the other end's going to be individualized. But all 4 wires are going into something that's going to hold it. And even if it separates or loosens up, it's not going to look, it'll look better without those there. So right now, those are there as just as a Band-Aid. So let's put this on here too. You know, you saw me do all this already, so I don't know why I'm doing it again on camera. I should have done this on camera to prep for this video, but Zeus hardly prepares for anything, so you should all be happy that it's even getting done. If you want to see more stuff like this, by the way, don't forget to check out my live streams, Wednesdays and Sundays, which I do lots of stuff. Now, this is, by the way, I can't test this today, which is suck, unless I bring my amplifier in to the other apartment. Yeah, you can see that this one was pretty much perfect, and this one, 2 of them are just too long. Actually, that's got to be the way it also crimped it, because it is clamping down hard on these. So I'm just gonna have to keep an eye on that. Once I cut this, it won't matter. I want to cut it now. Don't cut it now. Don't cut it now, Z. You're fine. It's fine. You don't need it cut now. What I will need to do, though, is figure out exactly how to cut this, because if I bring this back, it's hard to line up. They're massive. I'll go with the one that's actually straight. If I line up the heat shrinks, which I know I pushed down all the way, you can see that this is way too long. And when I go to attach these, which would be there, the wire needs to end literally at this black line. So it's like that. So the way I was doing it, and the way I'm going to continue to do it, because it seemed to work pretty well, is I dealt with just one side at a time. So I don't have to, I'm cutting off the markings. So just take the 2 that you need. Here's 1 and 2. And we're just going to cut 1 and 2. This way I know I'm working with the negative. So let's put this next to itself again. This is where everything looks like this looks about even. It looks about even. Like as far as, because there's really no like line where that split exists. It's just sort of like a feeling of that split existing. So I'm going to say there. Then we'll put this back here. Line this up, and what I could do is you could take your, I could do this with a white pen or not, and I could just go leave a nice mark, keep them straight, pick it up, and then you hit this thing called commitment. That's the commitment button. There we go. You can see that's actually one of the longer pieces we've taken off. Boop. And now the fun part. Because I'm using these mica cables, we have a couple advantages and disadvantages. One advantage is it's nice and flexible. The disadvantage is it's very thick. And another thing is, I'm going to show you, we're going to strip off the outside insulation. There's outside and inside. We're not measuring this. This is all going to get buried inside the connector. We're just going to slice it and slide it. And you could see there's no exposed wire. This is still in PVC here, or rubber, something. And that's good, because when we're getting into putting 2 wires into one of these, the brown insulation is too thick to get close, but the white insulation's not. So I cut this back, 2 centimeters, and then I'm going to strip just 1 centimeter of actual copper, so it'll be protected here, so there's no chance of anything grounding out. And we're only working with this side. Fuck this side. We'll do that side later. That's why that side is kinked, but I mean, we'll get to it. So now that I got that, we're going to take off. That was, I stripped that with a 10 gauge. This is 14 gauge wire. I stripped that with the 10 gauge. Now this stuff, you got to strip with a 14 gauge. But if you want to be real careful, you cut it with the 14, then bounce it over to the 12, and then pull it off. That's the only way you don't lose. I still lost some copper. There is copper in there. You're never going to not, especially with something as finite as these micas. These micas use real fine cable. But that method of slice through, then go to the larger one. This way at least it's not dragging the metal blade against it. And you're going to lose a couple. So now here's the hard part. These are very short because it doesn't take much in here. These are not super deep plugs. I wish they were deeper. That's literally like that much is as much as you can fit in one of these. And we're trying to get 2 of them in there. So what do we just do? The lower numbers, we've been doing the negative. So that's actually not this one. I got to screw that back together. That would have sucked. The one I opened up when I did my testing. We need to do 1 negative is here, right? Yes, that's 1 negative, and that's 1 positive here. So 1 at a time. You don't want this to fall out, and I actually did have it fall out. Shove the screwdriver in there. Of course, it's just this floating piece of metal here that needs to be away so that you have as much room as possible to squeeze the wire in. And also another thing I figured out is I had attached it and it was like this before. Meanwhile, the other wires are on this side. There's not much space to adjust. So if you're going to put it on, you got to make sure it's facing the right way for the next connector. So we're going to fan out these cables because we don't have a lot. And this makes me feel bad. And it's going to be like, you're all going to be screaming, just solder it, Zeus, get the soldering iron out. But these clamps don't work that well like that. So we're taking the 2 pieces of fanned copper. We're basically going to weave them together. Like we just did all that, but really small. We're going to squeeze them together. You can see the brown ends, the white gets even closer, and then the copper touches. And we're just going to like fan them out together. We're making it into 1 piece. And it only has to go in, and then we're going to clamp the shit out of it and never have to worry about it again. So now that we've got 1 piece, we're now on that side. The other wire is going to be on this side. The one we're going into has to be there. And for the very first one, you can spin it, which is nice. You can put it in and give it like literally a rotation like that so that it doesn't lose that twist you put on it. The second one we put in, you don't get the option to turn it like that, which sucks. But that's there in its proper spot. These are the low numbers. This is a negative. Hold, hold, hold. I went and got a Phillips head, one of these, because this is actually easier to do with Phillips. Although when it skips, at very last, the first one skipped and I had to go back to the flathead. That is a fucking attached. Now there's a little copper showing here. Who cares? Who fucking cares? It doesn't fucking matter. That's why Zeus succeeds, because he knows exactly when to not give a fuck. Because if you're just like, oh damn it, I gotta read it. No, don't do that. So now I'm going to just line this up and do the exact same thing where I mark it with my fingernail, because we have to do up here is 1 plus, not the phone. 4.5. I think I figured out 4.5 is the exact amount you need to undo. Yee. So we're gonna make this one. That's there. This is gonna be roughly here. I know exactly where it's gonna end up. We need to. I just tried to fingernail it, didn't work. So I'm just gonna hold my finger there and go. Yeep. Whatever. Now look, when you lay it down, this one's a solid like 3 millimeters longer again because they're laying down. So we're going to take just this one up and trim it because it's hard to do when you're doing multiple wires. There, now they're perfect. So I lifted them up and they just they do this as you lift up and move down. So we want them for dead straight. That's what happened with that one where it's all weird. So again, we're going to strip using the 10 gauge as far back as you really want. It doesn't matter. It's all going to be enclosed in this. This thing is huge. You got at least an inch of cover. And we're throwing a bunch of this. Wow, that is really rubbery. Well, I guess I overdid one side or underdid the other. I underdid one side. There we go. So now we're going to just keep double checking our lengths. How much do we actually need to strip? Because I had somewhere I had to actually cut off just more wire. The wire was too long. This does not look like it's going to be too long. And when we twist it together, it's actually going to get a little bit shorter. So we're going to keep that in mind too. Don't. Make sure when you're doing it like this one isn't just hanging out next to a cutting surface. There's been times, I'm telling you. Put it in 14, give it a wiggle. Put it in 12 and give it a pull. And that was almost a great way to show you. If it sticks, sometimes they'll stick. You can use it for the next one to assess the length. Brush off any loose copper. We don't want that fucking with our day. Oh god, Rumpa Pum Pum is still playing. God, I hope that wasn't loud enough for YouTube's detection system. Jesus. That suck. That suck is just all my advice is just silence. What did Zio say? Nothing. It was beautiful. Spread the fan, put the fan, twist the fan, the fan, the fan, the fan. Nice and tight. We only got to get this in once. Oh, fuck. Remember what I said? We can't do that twist thing, so you have to get it right. And you don't want to twist it so much that it shortens it to the point where it's just too short, which is what I almost did just now. You want to sort of pull this way as you're twisting. You want to keep it long. You want to grab as tight as you can so you could bend backwards. Come on. Oh, this fucking the metal shield went down. This is going to happen. It's just going to happen. The problem is this metal shield is loose and it does not respond well to not violence. So there we go. I literally flip it upside down. Just gonna push some of that copper back down in there. Again, I don't care if every bit of copper is in there. It's all touching metal anyway. And I'm gonna push real hard down and I'm skipping. So I'm gonna go back to my trusty flathead. Flatheads don't skip. They jump out and cut your hand open, but they don't skip. So there we go. There's our, is that negative? There's our negative. There's our positive. We've trimmed, we've got a lot of this showing, but there's nothing copper exposed. You could slide this up, although it doesn't really matter because what you need is one of these. So now we bury this. Or we do the other one and then bury it. I'm probably going to do that because that's what I should have done the very first time. Because we're going to use that to just assess where we're cutting our leads. We'll do the same order. Where is it? These are our two high numbers. These are our two low numbers. It's going to be literally identical. Literally. So we're going to line them up. I'm sorry about the darkness. Never apologize for darkness. She's best girl. 1 and 2. Love how 1 just goes flying. And now we're going to repeat the process for this side. Now that I've lined it up, they should be identical as far as length goes, assuming this. Give me a bit. I had a thing where I went to do the outside strip, and it just took the whole thing. So I have a big exposed piece of copper. However, that's fine because everything else, well, these two don't matter because they're touching, but these all stayed, so we're good. So there's no risk of it. If that was something else, I'd probably crop it all back or get electrical tape or electrical, there's electrical paint you could put on there. Like, all right, these are wired. Need these now. Do them both with an F. Wide notch there, wide notch there, and then you have to like, it gets tough because this doesn't center, and we start hitting the wall there where we just attached the wire, and there it goes. So once we put that in, then you could push this in, and then if you're actually, this one went in perfectly. Sometimes you could rotate it, and we're going to turn this up, and we're just going to screw this on. And here's what's going to happen: you're going to get angry at it. It's going to be smooth, then you can hear it go. You can hear it ratcheting. And that ratcheting is it squeezing down on the wire. So you want to do it, and you want to hold it as tight as you can. Eventually, it's going to get real hard. You don't want to twist like that. You don't want the wires going nuts. You just want to hold it firm, and that's it. The end. Repeat. The HANA OST playing was great. And there you go. I had to rotate that one. On. Smooth. Ratcheting. Ratcheting. That's it. These ends are donezo. This one's a little bit longer than that one. It's going to throw the sound completely off. How's this one looking? Well, this one I need to cut that. I do need to cut that. Where's my knife? I have a knife. This is a suck bit. And actually, where's my scissors? Because fuck using a knife. Because if you slice through the outside thing, you're screwed, buddy. If you try to cut, like, no. Here, just do that. Let these be free. There's no visual benefit or physical benefit for having these things. So yeah, there's a little bit looser now, but look, oh, they're free. They're free to jiggle and diggle. Where these are like, it's like taking a top off of a woman or a car. You gotta let them free. It's like the 60s in here. And I'm not worried about the scissor doing too. You could fuck up with a scissor too, don't get me wrong. But you have to be really lame to fuck up with a scissor. Don't fuck up with the scissor. Like, you have to get it like completely through and go. Then you, oof. It's like halfway. This one's actually stickier than that side. Actually, I think I might have just melted this heat shrink better. I think I spent a long time on one of these. There we go. Just the freedom of movement. And they're not going to untangle each other. It's impossible. So now that we've got the ends that are going into the amps, don't these look expensive? What does this cost me so far? These connectors are $12 for 4 of them. These wires, these 12-foot wires, you're going to need... No, you could do it out of a single set, right? They're 4 feet. No, you can't. Not at this length. You need 2 sets. Unfortunate. Or else that'll be real cheap, because these are like $30 for the pair. So then you got to cut them up and do this to it. And now we're going to go to the ends. I need to vacuum again. I'll stop the camera for the vacuum. I have Anthrax because I have the Grand Theft Auto Vice City soundtrack. So there's my ends. Okay, there's my ends, which are indicated. These are the red wires. Wow, what if that wasn't a red wire? That would fuck my mind right up. I just look at it and like there's a red wire here, and oh my god, my head would explode. So we have red and brown. Now the problem is the specific speaker terminals are going to determine how we cut these, and we're gonna need to leave the heat shrink on. So I might try to reheat shrink this, but we are going to cut these down a bit. They're a little bit long. However, we are going to still take like 3 and 4, and I'm going to do a thing. Which if I do a thing, we may not need to keep this heat shrink. And the thing I would do is just, you don't just twist them, you literally make them do this. Like I'm keeping them facing the direction as I rotate around. And then when we attach them at the top, it won't undo. Like that's how that works. Because once they're attached, that'll just live like that in that nice pattern. And then I could still probably undo this. Yeah, then if I'm doing that, I can then cut these off later. Although I would probably want to cut them off sooner because I can get another twist or two in there. What I'm going to have to do is take one side, cut it off, do all my twists. I have to go take a measurement first because I need to, in fact, I'm going to take this with me. I'll be right back. I got to go bring the back panel of the Heresy to my table. SD card error? God, I love the new Hero 8. It's amazing. Don't you love how it gives me SD card errors where no other GoPro ever did? So, instead of bringing back the entire speaker, I brought back just this, because this is what I actually need. This is the bridge for the back, for the top and bottom terminals. Since I'm custom making these, and since I'm using right angle connectors like this, I don't want it to be like a weird thing. So it's going to be, this one's going to be plugged in on the top and on a slight angle out, and this one's going to be plugged in on the bottom on straight down. So basically I need to figure out which one of these is going to the 12-inch driver, which one's going to the high frequency horns, and then one side's going to be cut literally that much shorter. Whatever this distance is, they're just going to be shorter. So I have to put these on now. You making noise, fan? My hi-fi fan is up a little bit higher than normal. It was from the stress of weaving these. I literally needed air. I needed fucking air. So decision time, because right now it doesn't really matter which side is one or two. It does in a little way, and it doesn't in a little way, because they're both gonna go like this into the amp. In other words, this is the way that they're designed to plug into the amp. Boom. I don't want to have to fucking switch them over and twist this. So how does that affect us? We're using the amps in stereo. And like if I was really OCD and I'm kind of pissed off that I didn't do this, I would have made one backwards where I had the red and then I moved it over, and so I would have reversed that. So, and then I would have had these plugs so that the red side was on the same side, so that would go in to out. Please don't do this. We're just gonna make identical wires. All right, that time was a battery death because this thing eats batteries. Like I get an hour max. I used to get an hour and a half, hour and 40 minutes on the Hero 4, which I still use 2 Hero 4s for unboxings and sound demos because I'm not gonna bother with better colors for the sound demo. So like I was saying, we're going to pick a length. We're going to pick a side. Either red's going to the fucking bass driver or brown is. And it doesn't matter because I'm going to be able to set the amplifiers up to have both channel ones will be the same because I need to cut for length. So obviously the ones that are longer are going to go to the horns. So I've got to pick that now. I think the red ones, right? The red ones that go to the horns. Oh, look at that. Look at that. The red ones are on the outside, inside, and the red ones are on the outside. Oh, shit. It all fucking doesn't make sense. It doesn't really matter. Okay. Red or brown for the horns. Red horns. Red horns. Was brown is like the brown note, which would be the 12-inch. Brown's the brown note, which will be the 12-inch. You're the shorter ones because you're going to be on the bottom, which means the red ones are going to determine our height. So let's deal with those first. In case we fuck up and we have to chop it down, I want this to be right. So as you can, if we straighten them out, you can see we have a very, very big discrimination between lengths. So what we obviously know how it's wired. This is our only map, the key to the whole thing. Oh my God. So now, I'm gonna need to get out more of my heat shrink. This is where the heat shrink is gonna get fucking real, because these come with these nice little booties, but as I've already described, get the fuck off there. As I've already shown you all, and actually I need to disassemble all of them. I could just throw these in the trash. These are for those. It's one of those things that like I don't want to do that. But I'm never taking these off and going, wow, I could use those again on a smaller wire. No. I could probably also throw all these in the trash because they will not fit a pair of them. They'll fit a pair of them this way, which is not the way that they work unless I could then squeeze this over. No, it's not worth the effort. So all these boots got to come off. I'm actually going to remove all of the screw terminals. These screw things, I'm either going to take them completely out or at least back them out all the way so I can just go boom, 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 boom. There's extra screws in here for those. I'm not going to toss those just yet. And let's see. And what I'm going to have to do with my heat shrink is recreate these. And I don't mind the color scheme of red and black. I've got clear, and I actually do have white heat shrink. When I was building my own, cables, I was using white heat shrink for white and red. Because I was using white, other thing, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. These look beautiful. These are fucking baller already. Already baller. Baller.com. .zos. So on both amps, the far left channel, which was what? Channel 2 is going to be the red one, which will be the highs, and channel 1 will be the bass. So that makes sense. I love how we're keeping that wallpaper. Oh, Hook's playing. Can't listen to anything while people are recording. That's what you do to me. That's what you do to me. All right, so here's what I got to do. I got to do one at a time. I got to take one and I just got to back it the fuck up. Back up. You're in my space. Get out of my space. Trying to. My back hurts. I lifted up my bed because there was a wire and it was terrifying. So what we're going to do now is remove this, which I'm just going to slide it off. We got to be a little bit careful we don't undo any loops. It shouldn't come out, but it's like you got to just eyeball it. That side we're going to keep. So what do we got? The highs here. The highs are the horns. The horns are high. We're going high, high, horn, high. So we need our matching sets. There's 3 and 4 are there, and 1 and 2 are here. So what we're going to do is we're going to get our twist going. We're going to do our twist. We're going to do our do like that. Not twist, just they're going to walk with each other. Get up to where they're at the max. We're going to make sure these are the same height. They are roughly the same height. We're going to have to cut some of it off, is what the doctor said to the baby. Then I'm going to cut them the same length, strip them. We got to put one of these on there. And honestly, the direction of this, whether it's like this or that, is probably going to matter a bit. But I need to put heat shrink on it first. I need to make heat shrink decisions. So here is the stuff that's got the glue, which I think would probably come in handy. It's very red or very black. But this is the shizen. We don't need a lot of it. We don't need a lot of it. We just need enough to... God damn it. This stuff is real stiff, by the way. This is not like your normal stuff. And I have only... If this is the size we need, which looks like the size we're going to need for just 2 of them. Each one needs 2. Yeah, that's about it. I don't think I can go any smaller than that. You always want to use the smallest possible usable heat shrink. No. So I have 4 lengths. Actually, it looks like I have a couple more in here. Is that one? Well, that's one of this. Okay, because I saved it because I'm not stupid. We're not going to use these full lengths. We'll cut these down. That's too big. So that's everything we're going to use. I don't mind the bright colors either. I mean, this stuff's brighter than that, but I don't know how the camera's picking up on it. This is like orange and this is red. And that's got... You got to watch out for these little pieces of copper. I'm probably just going to cut these right in half because that's the easiest way to segment them. To make sure they're all the same size is just scissor them. We're going to go scissoring. And that's it. And we're not going to be that accurate. And we're going to need 4. Thank God we have an extra piece. Try to fold this. Folding is the hardest part. Get the ends together. Get in there. All right, so there's our 4. And do the same thing with black. Now is this... I guess the extra piece is just in case I fucked one up. So that's what it's coming down to. I actually have a lot of black. Are they the same length? They should be. Well, that fan is making weird noises and I hate it. It sounds like it's haunted. Get it in there. 2. Nope. I tried to guesstimate that. There we go. Imagine if someone edited this down to like a 20-minute video. Not even 20 minutes. You could edit down this video into like a 6-minute video. I hate those videos. Here's how you make speaker wires. Get the wire, then you strip it, then you use solder, and you're done. Hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe. No, this is the shit you gotta do. If you can't watch this video, you can't make speaker wires. You could skip through it, but you wanna know all the little fucking minutiae of failures. Well, this is an absurd speaker wire, by the way. But I mean, this is it. If you're going for it, go for it. I gotta hear this a lot. These are extras. I was gonna sit on the side. We are going to need to at least get one of these prepped. At least one. And this unfortunately uses only flathead, which is the worst format ever. Give me an Allen key. Give me a Torx bit. Give me a square head. Any fucking thing but a flathead, please. No. My grandfather put together in my grandparents' house where I started this channel. If you go way, way, way back, everything he built had flatheads. I don't know if it was because he built shit in the 60s and 70s. I don't know what America's fucking obsession is with a flathead, but it sucks. Because as soon as it falls out of the groove, you're screwed. So there, I just backed them out until I, looking down the thing, can't see them in the way of anything. Now, I remember those are real long. Those are like full length. We can get the whole stripped bit. In fact, we could probably even go further than that. Can I shove this in there? No, it's still too thick. Giggity. What's our shortest one? We need to go off our shortest one because we can't make the short one longer. We make the long one shorter. So our shortest one is this. It's 3, which means we need 3 and 4, which is that, which means we're going to do our twist thing with 3 and 4. Here's where the OCD comes back in. When I was building my own cables, when I twisted the ends, I twisted one way and I twisted the other way, and I'm going to do the same for this because I'm an asshole. This looks like it's outside. We're going to go... You want it to be tight. Like, you want it to, like... And you... Remember, we're keeping... That red thing is pointing at me, like, constantly. It's never not pointing at me. We're not twisting them. We're spinning them against each other so that they hold that shape forever and ever and ever. It's like, there's that. So that's our long one. Our short ones are going to be that much shorter. If we end terminating here, the other one's going to be this long. That's not terrible. I am, however, going to completely cut. This is it. This determines it. I'm just going to go boop. I bet he booped that shit. Now what I got to do... Now what you're gonna do? What side are we doing? This is the positive. So we're gonna slide a red bitch on this. And I should have slid the red bitch on it before I cut it, but it's fine. And this could actually hold our twist for now, if we leave it up here on the top, or at least hold most of it. Because we do need to let this go and strip things, and then we're gonna have to do a thing where we twist to get it back up, and then because we're not gonna need. Yeah, we'll be fine. It'll all be fine. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. It's going to be fine. You and I, we're going to be good guys. I shouldn't need to do like I did. It should just be straight up cut. And we'll just butt it up to that metal. Because we don't need any extra space. So I'm going to try a 12 gauge. Zeus, why do you got to always bring up? I don't know where that went. I'll find it in like 6 months. Alice in Chains. We ripped a couple out of that one. All right, now we're twisting these together again. So it's just going to be a matter of... And see, here's the problem. Twisting. They become the same length. But then you untwist them, all of a sudden they're not the same length. So we got to sort of like keep that in mind. That even if it looks like they're off, you guys gotta do the same ones, yes. Yes, just do the same one. I'm gonna chop it with the bigger one, and I'm gonna go back in with the smaller one and give a wiggle and a pull. And I'm gonna pull it again. That's fine. So now, keeping everything in mind, get off these loose ones. This is nice and long, so you could just go nuts with that. Just go nuts. All we got to make sure we do is when we install this, that we get at least up to that top screw. Because if you only get it in that far, you're not using that top screw. You need to get at least past that top screw. So we're real close to it being too short. And you can fix that by just either pulling some wire out, which it will work eventually, or just straightening it up. Yeah, that's going to get way past it. And you know you're doing it right if you screw the top one down first. If this can screw in and hold it, which we're going to need to get on a flat surface. Now, I also said we have to pick our orientation. I think chance just picked our orientation as far as which way these are pointing. Although it's not like we're... Yeah, so now that's attached, and this bottom one's going to crush the crap out of it. And this is the one that's going to make sure nothing gets pulled out, ever. And try to get it flush. So now, we're going to bring up our heat shrink. And we could heat shrink it. I could heat shrink it right now for your faces. And that's one lead. It's actually a little bit long, but I don't care. It's behind the speaker. Like, you're going to see it, and you're going to go, ooh, those are nice. You can also, if you want to be a super badass, put black heat shrink behind this, and then heat shrink this, and slide black heat shrink up and have it be black heat shrink in the middle with just tops and bottoms. Or you can get really expensive heat shrink. It doesn't really matter. So I'm going to do, these are both, wait a second. This is my brain working. It's going to be a hot and a ground per each. Okay. So that's red. This is black, and these are both long. Hot and ground. It's going to be the other side too. I'm trying to figure out when I should reverse my yeah, I have to reverse my rotation. This is for the OCD bit where I'm like, why are you doing that? Because this one is going from this orientation clockwise. This one has to go counterclockwise or anti-clockwise so that my brain feels fine, because it's going to be on either side of the speaker. And then this one will do the same. Hot will go clockwise and ground will go counterclockwise. For no reason. This unless you want to fill in, you know what? In the comments, please tell me why this is better for sound. I'm sure someone has some fucking stupid, oh yeah, because the electron flow, because we're above the equator. Of course, it's what it's going to do. It's going to be the best. Okay, and these are 1 and 2, which is negative. And now I'm going to put our black on there before I cut it. Just get it to sort of hold. It just has a sort of hold. And just sort of note if the pattern looks tighter on one or the other. It shouldn't. Because these are, well, if you're using the exact same wire as I am. But now we also have to crippity crop this shit. These are going to be the same length. So we could just take this and put it here and go like, all right, where are we cutting this? And it's like, all right. And actually the word speaker right there will give us a great indication. Looks like we're cutting it at the P, boys. Cut the P off. Wait, that doesn't seem right. Yeah, yes, it does seem right. We're cutting a lot off. Cut the P off at the speaker. At least I know where that one landed. All right. So now that's good. I'll do this again real quick. I'm going to trim it a little bit further back now, just because it was a little shy. That's one. There we go. Get off the extra. And I'm just going to go. I'm going by feel. I'm like Bob Ross. Bob Ross used to paint by feel. I build speaker wires by feel. Give a little. Back to 14, back to 12, and just all this copper. Oh my God, it's the worst. We actually are ready to just do that again. You can spread it out like we did for the other half, but it's not really gonna matter. We have so much metal here, and now we are also gonna go at least keep this consistent. Flathead. What song am I not listening to? Oh God, The Force Awakens. I love watching videos about how bad The Force Awakens is and how bad... Wow, that completely rotated. That... Let's see if I can rotate that back. There you go. I actually... It's like I go to see Star Wars movies now to watch the YouTube videos that destroy them. Like, I get more hours out of that than I would by just, oh, I have this movie and I download it. It's pretty good. Yeah, it's called Star Wars. Oh, great. So there we go. Let's heat shrink that. Let's shrinkmatude. Give this some shrinkmatude. Now, this is the sticky stuff, so I'm not sure. Just checking on my hand, which is probably not the smartest thing. I'd love to put this up to high, but I'm pretty sure that's going to do bad on the UPS. There we go. You basically, this stuff is real slow acting because you're heating it up and it's melting the glue. Like, this is forever. If you go fucky wucky, you go in the forever box. Come on. You guys want me to release videos like this long on this channel, or you keep it to the side channel? I like to evenly heat it, so I'm not moving from a cold one to a hot one. You can like touch it with this nozzle. There we go. Yeah. This is therapeutic right now. Too bad I don't have my Neumanns hooked up to record it. Because the heat activates the glue and the heat shrinks the heat shrink. So it's, and since it's thick, it's probably going to hold. Ooh, don't melt my, is you going to melt my garbage pail? Please don't. I like my garbage pail. Yeah, it's going to hold the heat for a bit. And the metal tips are going to hold the heat. But that is our top. So now, before I shut the camera off, and I love how that's just, it's just random. They're facing each other. Actually, facing each other is fine. Because it's actually, which way is it? Oh, fuck. Which side's hot and ground on the back? Oh, I guess it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. It's going to either go here or here. I have enough length to play with it, so it's not going to look stupid if I have to crisscross them. But now, the next step, take this son of a bitch, which don't lose this. And the next ones have to be shorter by exactly this much. So if I turn this one here. Then this one has to go here. Boop. That's perfect. And then I have to, I'm just about to do the same thing. Like, you don't want to watch me do the same thing. And I want to listen to Cake, Alpha Beta Parking Lot. So I'll be back. Okay, I've never heard the jet like whining in that. Like, that's amazing. All right, so the last little touch is I'm trying to make the connectors. Once you do the length on one, you match it, and then you just try to match them across because that's more important. And then you do the twist, and then you have the thing. So this is the last one, and then I'm going to heat shrink these, and then they're finished. I don't want to cut my finger off either. But you gotta get these tight, which is another reason they shouldn't be. I understand why they're flathead, but fuck. Allen keys exist. Almost crooked as hell, but that's just the way it's gonna be. We're gonna straighten it out. We're doing a lot of tensioning and torquing. So I can't test these until I'm done with the triangle thetas, which I didn't heat shrink any of these, by the way, so I'm just gonna heat shrink them in pairs. So it's not like I'm gonna rush the triangle thetas. They're amazing. Unless you've probably seen the triangle thetas already. Unless I want to film these being installed to put at the end of this video. Which means this video is going to have to sit incomplete for like weeks. At least another solid week. Like, I'm in no rush to finish a $4,000 set of triangles. Like, oh, I gotta get back to my goddamn fucking clips. Like, I want to get back to my clips, but I'm gonna do it in a natural, pleasant, pleasing way. Oh yeah, oh yeah. You know what the best part is? Even if I fuck this up and all the hots and grounds are reversed, mini DSP exists. I could be completely out of phase and I could just be like, ah, I fixed it. It was completely out of phase. Now it's fixed. Wait till it gets nice and shiny and then you move on. Because you want that glue. The glue doesn't activate until it melts. And it doesn't melt until the whole thing is sealed on. What have we learned? We learned you can make very, very expensive looking cables. I mean, this isn't the best heat shrink. And let's face it, these aren't the best banana plugs. These are like the cheapest 10-pack of right angle banana plugs I could find on Amazon. And they're gonna work. I've used ones like these before. I'm sure I could have gone to some specialty shop and been like, oh shit, I got it. Oh, that actually, ow, ow, ow. I'm trying to pull it up. It slid down a little bit. That's another reason you should do the heat shrink from the bottom so it can't slide down. And then it'll just work itself up. Unless the whole heat shrink shrinks lengthwise, which is a pain in the dick. Yeah, I mean, you can get better connectors, but I'm plugging this in and never taking it out. If these were going to be my regular everyday cables, like every day I'm going to plug them in, every day there's going to be a new pair of speakers, I'd spend $20, $30 on a set of bananas. Not because they won't sound any better, just because I know they'll be built better than these. These are built like China made 70,000 of them last week. Oh, look, we can see the glue. Sweet. All right. Well, I'm going to put you on the floor. Those are the right length. Those are the right length. No, there's no heat shrink at all except for that. Because this is all, it just gently, like this, you can see it's sort of like loosening up. That's fine, because once it's plugged in, it's not going to matter. I'll know which one it is because brown is brown now. Brown is 12. So whenever I plug it in to my amplifier, this will always be the one that drives the 12-inch, and then this will always be the one that drives the highs. And hopefully I didn't screw these up and make them backwards because that'll look silly. Now highs are red, 12 volt. Ooh, those are still very warm. I just love how they fold up. Anyway, hope you got some enjoyment out of this. I don't want to, like, I didn't use many tools. Let's go off with tools. Wire cutter, which if this one's wire cutter was better, I wouldn't even need that. It would just be the stripper's cutter. You need scissors. I didn't even need to use the heat shrink, the clear stuff. I could have used tape just to temporarily hold that thing. Little screwdriver. If you're using the same connectors, you need screwdrivers. A marker. You need a white marker. That's a need. That isn't one of those things like, do not try to draw a black ink on black thing. It's just bad. You'll lose your mind. Big chunks I don't want to put in the vacuum. I didn't even need this knife, really. Not really need that knife. That's it. Heat gun. Heat gun or a torch. Hell, you could use a lighter if you're really, really patient. So, I mean, and look at this. Look how nice and small they go. I can't believe I put this off for 3 days. Oh, baby. So, I'm going to go take some pretty pictures of this. Probably put them on Instagram because that's what people do, right? They make food and they put it on Instagram and they make really expensive looking, super cheap. I'm going to thank Micah because Micah always sends me these cables for free. And if I bought them, I'd be like, oh, I cut up a cable. Trust me, it's worth it. Look how nice these flex. That is some... If ASMR was... What's it called when ASMR is visual? Like, you just want to watch me do that. Like, satisfy... I'm sure there's a subreddit for satisfying visuals. And that is fucking one of them right there. Excellent. Thanks again to Skedra at Viking Weave for showing me how to make the fucking weave. How to do that. And yeah, I'll get these installed. Unless this isn't the end of the video. And you watch me plug it in. I better do the, check out the hi-fi guides, the forum. I'll probably, you know what? Maybe I'll post these on the forums. That's a good idea. I don't use the forum nearly enough. I have it, I run it, I make sure everyone's happy there, but I don't have the time. So maybe I'll just throw these on there, get some views. Anyway, so that's that. Check out the things, Patreon, subscribe star. You know the spiel if you've watched my channel. You know, that's what, I mean, it's not like this cost me a fortune, but it's nice that it's like, it's a write-off. What is dual 14 gauge? That doesn't become 12, does it? Dual 16, I think, becomes 13 gauge. Maybe it's like 11 gauge. Something absurd. Anyway, I'm done. Thank you for stopping by. Wallpaper in the description. I'll see you tomorrow for another regular video, and maybe we'll play some stuff. Well, here we are a couple days later. So you can see the living room is being prepared for these. So I'm just going to hold this camera in my mouth right now, and it's going to be real annoying, so hold on a second, guys. Oh no, girl! Oh God! It didn't work. Okay, so here we go. That's it. Those are attached. And now channel 2 is red, and channel 1 is brown, and it's the same on this side where these girls haven't fallen off yet. Channel 2 is red, channel 1 is brown. I have switched them back to the hit menu. I shut them off. They're off now because it's just terminals sitting on the floor. But they're back to stereo modes, so I'm going to wire them up with dual RCAs. These are those wonderful, absolutely world's best RCAs. And they're not that expensive, but they use the Amphenol connectors and everything, and Japanese Megumi wire. And so now I need 2 of them over there, and 2 of them over here. And I have to go get the speakers, so give me a second. All right, as you can see, speakers are now in place. Not their permanent place. I have to still figure out when the screen comes down where that's going to be, and I think it's too far over right now, but luckily for you guys, by the way, I'm live streaming, which is why I'm putting this camera in my mouth and not on my head. Let's plug it in. Damn, I am glad I made them exactly as long as I did, because that would have sucked. Well, that's a nice, relaxed, lean, like this just, oh yeah, baby. So now I'm gonna do the other side, which I might as well film that too. Great. Oh, crap. That one's real tight. I'm gonna need to get a pliers or something and press that down, because that banana plug is just, it's ballooned. All right, everybody. Definitely didn't just cut out like 2 hours of me working on these speakers on live stream. I'm a little bit surprised at how I had to move these over, because I'm trying to get ready for this and then I'll move them back. But I'm amazed at how short this looks. Like it's still got plenty of like play in it, but that's not a lot, and I would have loved to have made it longer. This one's sitting perfectly. That's how I imagine it sitting, this giant braid. Oh, also, one note, don't try to install this and then run it with the bridges still there, like I might have tried to do on stream. Yeah, I left the these all in place, and I'm wondering, why is it making crackling sounds? So the crowns literally went, look, I'm just gonna keep playing, I'm not gonna blow anything up, and you'll be fine. So yeah, took it real gentle. So yeah, everything works. They're wired properly. I'm currently dicking around in the Mini DSP Nano Digi, where I'm going to try to make config 4 have a slight bass boost so that I don't have to use the subs. Config 3 is usually my flat config, and that's music. And what I'm doing now, config 1, quiet listening, a little bit more boost on the highs, a little more boost in the subs. Then config 2 is you're playing it loud. Then config 3 is no subs, everything flat. And then config 4, I'm going to make a little bit of a boost, just a little boostie in the actual 12-inch so that I could try to like not use the subs when businesses are open and things like that. But yeah, let me hit the button that makes sound go so that you guys can enjoy it. Thank you. Pause. That's all you're getting. Anyway, thank you for stopping by for this insanely long video on the main channel. I usually do this sort of stuff either live streaming like I'm currently doing. They're down there somewhere. Or on the secondary channel, which is the unboxing channel / the Mad Science Hour channel. But for this, I figured this is a cool enough thing and it'll take up a day worth of my time and you could all enjoy the madness and the failures. Like, if I was really OCD, I would have figured out exactly the difference in length and made this side just that much longer to have it. Or I could literally flip this amplifier upside down and have, because it doesn't matter, there's no difference in heat distribution. Just flip it upside down and then have the wires be matched. I mean, that's we're not there yet. I'm almost there. I'm almost there. You'll never know. You'll never know. I could do that right now and it'll be perfectly mirrored because I think the bottoms are different. If the bottoms were identically flat and smooth, yeah, no, there's stuff on the bottom. Oh well. Anyway, check out my Patreon, check out my Subscribe Star, check out Hi-Fi Guides in the forums. If you want me to make these cables for you, don't bother asking. I ain't doing that shit. Someone will take up the mantle. They'll watch this video and they'll go, I can do that and I could profit from it. Go right ahead. You saw what kind of a pain in the ass it is. I'm sure if you did it for a living, you could charge, you know, $150 for a set of these. Easy. Easy. Plus shipping. So go. Be one with the and don't tell people they're going to sound better. Just tell them that they're prettier. That's all I care about is that they're prettier. Look at that. Look at that umbilical cord down there. It's wonderful to see. It's wonderful to look at. So anyway, thank you. That's all. I'm going back to dicking around with all this until my dick can't dick no more. And I'll see you tomorrow with a normal Z review. Probably.